How's everybody doing?
Good, good.
You guys got my audio okay? Sounds like you do. Obviously, if you're responding. So tell me what's going on out there. What's new and exciting? I would imagine we have a few people that are still going to be rolling in. So we'll get rolling with what I want to show everybody. What I have for you guys today, just giving you a little precursor. Very excited because it just removes more of the the obstacles, just gives you more of a pathway to being able to really implement these opportunities, bring this value proposition to your clients, and just ultimately get those clients to raise their hand and putting you in more real estate conversations. And so, like I said, we've been able to simplify that even more. Eddie, your guys' developer on that, I know he's about got it live, so will be exciting, and I'm going to go through that today. But a curious question for everybody: what are you guys experiencing out there? What's some of the hurdles that you're facing in the marketplace? What do you guys have as far as what's the demand from your clients? What's the mindset? You don't have to raise your hand or anything. Just feel free, unmute yourself, speak up.
I just jumped in this with you, buddy. I missed what you started off with.
Yeah, great. I thank you, Justin, for speaking up. So yeah, as we're waiting for everybody else to roll in, I had a question for everybody, and I kind of wanted to know what the mindset is of a lot of the sellers right now. What are you guys up against in the marketplace? And I know Tony here just said that we are in recession, so people are afraid.
Well, I deal with mostly buyers than I do sellers, and
Okay.
so I didn't get like your intro, and I just kind of saw the email and I wanted to jump in. So I'm not really too sure on who Zoodealio is.
Cool. Well, we are absolutely going to be diving into what Zoodealio is and how it works. Also, so I can get a pulse for the rest of the room that's in here. Just because I know we've done a lot of stuff for Zoodealio with all of your agents, R1 in general. Does everybody know what Zoodealio is, how it works, how it benefits your business, and ultimately how it helps you crush it and do more business?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
All right. So I got to know there. Sellers want to sell at 20. Isn't that correct, Trey?
They're getting above 2120 prices or 2021.
That's what they want. Let's see.
They're
I
getting it.
have no idea, but want more details so I can get on it. Very cool, Tony. All right. So I will do that for us and take us through a good run through. Brianna. So yeah, my goal today is to not only for everybody here, show you what Zoodealio is, how it works, but ultimately it's all about, this is a money-making environment, right? This is not, I mean, yes, we want to come from service. I am a big believer of servant leadership and being fiduciary to the clients and creating that type of environment. But ultimately, is like I said, I'll kind of give us a little snippet here before we get really rolling, as I imagine some people are still coming in. Zoodealio gives you the ability to generate the highest quality seller conversations and really client conversations in general through the cash offer hook. So we have some pioneering private programs that allow you to bring exclusive cash offers to your clients, all within an instant offer digital interface. And we can also do the same thing for buyers. When you have a buyer, to be able to turn their offer to cash to help them compete, if it's a highly coveted property, to help them negotiate the very best deal on the house, and then also strategies like being able to negotiate seller concessions so that we can buy down that rate, right? So as Tony had pointed out just a moment ago, right? Recession, a lot of times it's all based on the mindset of the consumer, the buyer, the seller. And if we, as the expert, can show them a way that we're going to alleviate some of those fears, a lot of times we are going to inspire transactions. And so that's why I want you guys to keep at the center of this today, is this is about inspiring transactions and helping yourself being able to put you into real estate conversations at scale. So I'm going to show you several things today on not only what the technology is, how it works, and how it does, the offer fulfillment, the order fulfillment, if you will, but how do we generate those conversations? How do we, again, how do we automate our business so that we can constantly grow? All right. It looks like we're about 8 after now. So let's get rolling. Now on this, I got one of my counterparts here that's going to be jumping in with me here in just a second. So I'm going to take you guys through a tour, and I have a 145 that I'm going to be jumping off to, that he'll be able to come in and answer some of the questions. So we had a little bit of a shake up and have a blended effort, but they will be able to answer any of the questions for you guys that you have in there. So this isn't a huge room. So do me a favor, if you guys have a question as we go through this, either throw it in the chat right away or even raise your hand. And I can bring you on. Like I said, this is, I like these to be informal and be very much so this about you and your business. That's the key component here, is being able to take this information, this technology, how do you blow it up and crush it? If you're at 10 deals, let's get to 15. If you're at 15, let's get to 25. If you're at 25, let's get to 40, right? Being able to ramp up those mindsets and being able to lead with this value proposition so that you can ultimately, again, grow your GCI. All right. With that said, let's jump in. Okay. Okay. So the first thing I want you guys to see here, I'll go out of this. Now I know, like, before I go in here on this, and Mark, I know I remember you from the past. Is there certain things that, and I mean, I know you're one of the QBs. Is there advice that you would give to this room as we go through this today that you think would be best? I mean, you know your agent partners and communities there better than I do. So is there certain things that you would that you would recommend that I highlighted on that you think would be of service and value to the agents that are on here today?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, I'm still getting used to this platform, Zoodealio, as well. And since we participated in your presentation that you did back, was it November or December? I forget. It's been a couple months, but
yeah, when I was there in person, I think it might have been November.
Yeah. So I think one of the things for us to really kind of, and I might be kind of jumping ahead here, but I think you'd mentioned it earlier. The thing that I think for me and a few people that work with me that we're really trying to make the connection on is just having Eddie make that connection on our websites. So I think that's the only thing we're really, because I think we're still trying to understand the whole process here. But as I'm taking notes in today's class here, the other thing that I completely forgot about is the fact that making a cash offer for a buyer versus just the cash hook for the seller. So that's just my only input that I can really share with you at this point, just not knowing the process here.
Yep, fair enough. Well, I'm going to simplify all of that, and I'll run through that today, and I will show you not only how we request the cash offer from the consumer side, but also how you do it from the agent side. So Let's start there. When you have technology like this, you have the ability to really kind of create things through marketing and advertising. Now, I'm going to keep that pretty loose in a second because I don't, again, overly know the room. But so let me just allow me to explain what I mean when I say marketing and advertising. So if you're running email marketing, newsletters, postcard campaigns, or you're doing social media posts, you're very active on social media, right? Those may be more of a marketing base, but then we can enhance that by advertising, such as putting some advertising dollars in a Facebook, Meta, right? Facebook, Instagram, or even Google, right? Like keywords where not only are you taking search engine optimization, SEO, or being able to have AdWords where you're paying to have your off of keywords so that your website is being displayed per the search traffic, right? And again, I know that those are a couple of different concepts, so I can come back to those if you guys want. But those are ways that a lot of like the larger companies, like obviously Open Door is newer to your market. Part of how they tear into a community and really city is what I just said. Is where it'll hit the searches at first. Obviously, they're running commercials, billboards, radio ads, all those types of things. So they're creating awareness around the value proposition they're bringing to that community of get an instant cash offer, instantly sell your home, pick your close date, certainty, and convenience, right? That's part of the why and the value proposition that they're bringing to the marketplace. So this allows you to do that exact same thing. And this is where I want us to keep in mind being that mayor of our database, whether we're doing it digitally, we're doing it from calling them, we're doing it from texting them, we do it from posting to them, or we're doing it based on even running a retarget because you have their email addresses. Or one of the things that I'm going to show you that I have built with Eddie that's just crushing it is running these value propositions from a marketing standpoint via email. With that said, let me dive in. Let's take a look at this landing page. Now, I do want to show you guys here, you guys do have the ability to have custom landing pages that are all your R1 brand. Everything is there, especially since the R1 brand is so well known in New Mexico. It's all about creating consumer confidence. And if we can do that from a consumer confidence standpoint, fantastic, right? And so let's talk about this real quick from two standpoints. So first of all, you have an audience that is people that you have met that know you, like you, trust you, or maybe know of you, right? That you've been sending them content. Maybe you haven't met them in person, but kind of they've interacted with you in general. Then you have an audience that they don't know who you are from Adam, but we, through a value proposition, can pull them into my ecosystem so that if I'm showing them a value proposition, such as an exclusive cash offer, they're more likely to raise their hand, and it's now putting me in a conversation with that homeowner that I was not going to have before. Or a value proposition of, hey, buyer, want to buy a house? Let me turn your offer to cash. That's an opportunity for you to create a value proposition that's going to put you at the center of that conversation in a whole new way. So I'm going to pause there real quick because, like I said, I want this to be fairly informal. Is everybody tracking with me on that and relate to what I just shared there? Cool. And Mark, you got your camera on, so I'll bounce off of you sometimes because then I can at least get a little bit of feedback and I'm not looking at a bunch of black screens. Cool.
Sure thing.
All right, so let's jump in here. Let's kind of go through this experience. So first of all, what you're going to get within the site here is you do have a landing page, but you also have the ability, like I said, to be able to create these custom landing pages where Eddie is doing that for you guys, and all of this is done for you. Those of you that are super tech savvy, you can actually come in and create multiple landing pages that really serve a niche. So the reason to me why I like this so much is if let's say I wanted to focus on a subdivision, right? Northeast Heights is an example, or not a subdivision area, right? Northeast Heights, highest price cash offer, right? I can create an individualized landing page on top of my R1 page. And it just really allows us to cast a bigger net so that we're drawing in more opportunities. All right, with that said, let's put in an address here. So giving us the use case scenario, let's say that we were running one of the email campaigns, right? So this email campaign, which we're going to be talking about more here in just a second, but let's say that you had to your known database, you have this email campaign that's running and says, hey, I want to get a cash offer at full market value. Say what? They click, watch the video. This sounds great. They click this link here. It goes to your site. They enter in the address, and we'll do it here just because this be a little bit, let's see. Sorry, I'm not as familiar with it. Let's see, North. I don't think this is it. Let's see. There we go. All right, now I have, yep, that's it. Okay, so that homeowner comes in, they enter in their address. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to geolocate the property, make sure it's their address. And then once they say, yep, that's my property, let's go ahead and move forward. Now, the next thing it's going to do in here is it's going to return the known available data. And as you guys know, the data there is a little bit more restrictive. So we do go off of just, again, the general known facts, but we also have access to some of the MLS feeds and those types of things to be able to do that. What is great on this is it allows the homeowner, in the event that they've upgraded their house, added a bedroom, deducted a bedroom, it allows them to really kind of come in here and edit that and add on the garage, any data that we need to be able to process, move forward. Now the system is going to start aggregating this offer as well instantly based on how they, matching to the list of buyers that we have available on this, that's there, right? So let's say that it's a sewer. Does it have solar panels? No, and no, it doesn't have a pool. And this is the part that's really cool. This is how you capture that homeowner, right? So as soon as that fast, right, it's now going to give us a range value of what this house is worth. And it's going to say, hey, Mr. Homeowner, looks like the anticipated value in your house is 309,000. They can also come in here and say, what they believe the estimated value is of their particular property, right? And when they're coming to a site where, especially right here underneath where it says get my offers, the part that is fantastic here is not only is the system generating it per the AVM, which is going to be reported to you, as I'm going to show you here in just a second, it's also going to capture what they think their house is worth. So I want everybody to pause there as an agent. Imagine every listing appointment you went to if you knew what that seller wanted for their house. How cool is that, right? A lot of times, you don't have to play that cat and mouse game. Well, what do you want to list it for? What are you looking to get? This is an opportunity where you're absolutely capturing their behavior and them reporting or capturing what they want for the property and it going to you in the system. And after that, it's very simple. It comes in, click, get my offers. They register. You get notified via text message, email that you have a new lead, and then it pulls them right into this offer dashboard. Now, the part that I want you to see inside of here real quick, right? So a lot of times the system will update with a curb shot photo, but it also prompts the homeowner to upload photos. And that's the experience I want to take you guys through here today. See, I kicked myself out. Sorry, let me log back in here real quick.
Elliot, quick question. So when a homeowner or seller is inputting this information, and then you say we get a new lead, is the homeowner manually inputting their name, phone number, email address, or is the system, the platform extracting that information from them? Or just so I understand from the back end.
No, so you have two options. When they request the cash offer, they're going to manually input their name, telephone number, right?
Okay.
So that's the lead capture. Just like on an IDX form, right? Like if they want to register on your site to look for a house, it eventually is going to prompt them to capture them. This works exactly the same way. They'll enter their name, contact details.
Gotcha.
The other way that I'm going to show you in just a second is you guys enter it inside of the system to where then it'll return the cash offers, which is, used for more of like a prospecting strategy. So for example, if you're calling canceled, expireds, or FSBOs, those types of things, and you wanted to generate a cash offer to start the conversation, that's where it would give you that. All right, let's go back into this dashboard here. And I'm going to take us all back through here. What we just went through there was the agent dashboard for everybody, just so you know. Okay. Now, what I want you guys to see here, and for the record, this is something I was tinkering around with probably back when I was there before. These are, you guys control the value of the listing, right? All the cash offers. This is the property analyst, right? A lot of this is automatically generated and done for you, where the cash offers are provided for you so that you are providing these exclusive opportunities. It's not like you need to go out and find your own investors or anything like that. All that is done for you inside of the Zoodealio platform, right? So now if I click on this system, this is what I want you guys to see, to where they can upload the photos here. Let me find demo pics. grab these guys here. Now, what it's going to do here is allows the homeowner to actually upload photos so that they will provide so that they can get the highest cash offer possible. Now the system prompts that homeowner to do that by, even once they register, it sends them a text message that says, hey, let us know the condition of your property so we can go to work for you and get the highest cash offer possible. Right now, the beauty for us as agents, right? Again, us getting this type of intel to have an intelligent conversation with them is a really cool opportunity. And this is where the system kind of goes to work for you. As you saw before, it had that 0 score, where once they come in here, they are labeling the property accordingly. And this is where the system has image recognition, where it's going to come in and qualify the property. And as you see here, that some of these miscellaneous that are there. Let's see. Let's go master bath, primary bath. And let's get this last one, and you guys will be able to get the point of what I'm trying to share with you here. Okay. Now what I want you to see here is check out, sorry, my cameras are moving around here. This piece here is where the score changed in this. And this is a prime opportunity for you guys to make contact with that homeowner and say, hey, Mark, thank you so much for your cash offer for request for your home on Gutierrez. Hey, I don't know if you saw when you'd requested the cash offers inside of the system, but it actually returned a score of a 48. Now, I don't want you to be alarmed. It's not saying that you're anything negative about your house, but what it's doing is it's showing you the low to the high, and you're only at 48% of what's potentially available for the cash offer that we could bring to you. So this particular buyer, how they grade and qualify the property of what they're going to do based on the initial data is the pictures and getting internal condition of the property. And so what I'd like to do is be able to go by your property. It's going to only take 5 minutes of your time, and I can be in the neighborhood tomorrow, take the quick little shots that I need to. Then I'll upload them into the system. That way I'm going to work for you, getting the highest initial cash offer possible. Does that sound fair enough? Yes. Okay, cool. I come over. So you guys see how we now leverage the system that they requested the cash offer. Yes, you can absolutely take the approach of, I need a picture of this room, this room, and that room. Go ahead and upload them into the system. But my advice to you is this is all about creating more conversations and creating relationships, right? You're using this to get into the door. Then after that, it's about getting them to know you, like you, trust you, right? And if we're creating the value proposition of, hey, let me go to work for you, I need to snag these specific photos that this buyer wants to see, verifying condition of the water heater, verifying condition of, another, the furnace is an example, right? Well, that now gets you inside of that house. And then this is where you're walking around the property and say, wow, this is a fantastic property. Hey, Mark, you did a really good job of upgrading this backyard. Hey, let me ask you, why is it that you're looking for a cash offer on this property? Oh, I just want to see about this. Or maybe you're going to discover that they need to sell quickly. Hey, well, what is a number that would make sense for you to relocate over to the west side of town so that you're not commuting 30 minutes to work, right? Whatever their reason is. And this is where we're going to dig and discover. And I'm going to show you why here in just a second, because this is all about converting, where if the cash offer works initially, fantastic, right? But the data on that is only about 5% of the cash offers, not only from us, but like the open doors, even when Zillow is in the game, right? Across the board, the acceptance rate is roughly 5%. But however, a half of these homeowners go on to list their house within that 6 to 12 month window. So if we create the lead and then we nurture them properly, half of the time these people are going on to sell their house on the open market. Why not that? Why should you not be that agent, right? That's what this is this is the conversation starter, and let's win that business. Okay. So this is where we come into play here, where I want you guys to see all of these different menus of cash offer options, right? So let's play this out in the scenario that I was just sharing a second ago. Let's say that these are the different cash offer options as far as this goes. And again, I want us to, let's look at this correctly. And I want to make sure that everybody follows this correctly. So I'm going to go in and shift this. Okay. All right. So if I come in here, cash off. Cash offer. Let's see. Okay. So now once I come back into the dashboard here, this is the part of where I want to show you guys how this works. And this is where I want to get us back into it in a moment where we have these conversations. And again, for the sake of the example here, let's actually even add this guy in here too. Let's change the listing price and where. As I'm going through this here, this is an example of when you have the cash offer in here, the system, you guys actually enter in what you could list and sell the house for, and it's in direct comparison of this. So let's say that you ran your comparables on this, and instead of 450, it's 525 is what you believe that you would be able to get for this homeowner for this particular property, right? So you have 7% closing costs, and you believe it's going to take you 25 days to be able to sell the property, right? So now you're kind of sharing that data with that homeowner. Now we're going to go back into the view. This is the dashboard of what the homeowner gets. Okay, so for clarity, why we're going back and forth in this, this is the offer dashboard that the homeowner sees, and that's the control panel as the agent standpoint. So you guys always have access to what your homeowner is seeing. This is where it gives them that side-by-side comparison. And when you're meeting with them, you can pull this up and be able to talk intelligently about the different cash offers that they have, right? To where maybe they have multiple cash offers that are just from that style of cash offer, but then the cash plus, which we'll be talking about here in just a second. And then the other options such as like a sell now, move later. But this is where we are able to use the offer dashboard to generate the opportunity to talk about the cash offers. So let's say that Mark again is my home seller here, and as I was walking the property, he tells me that he needs to walk away with at least $450,000 or $475,000 for this deal to make sense. To relocate and do what he needs to do. The comps support a possibility of a purchase price of a $525,000 offer. And again, I'm just giving you guys this in a scenario. And so this is where I'm going to say, hey, Mark, I see that I went to work for you and got these cash offers for you. And on this particular property, it looks like this is the highest initial cash offer that I'm going to be able to give for you. Now, you had shared with me that in order for this to make sense, you need to walk away with $475,000. Is that correct? Yep, that's correct. Hey, well, if I can show you a strategy on how that we can do that for you, and it looks like per my research that I can do that for you in as little as 3 Saturdays, is that something that would make sense for you and the family to put it, looks like possibly another $75,000 or even $100,000 more in your pocket? Yes. Well, boom, now we pivot and go into the listing conversation as far as that goes, right? And again, just to reaffirm for everybody on here, I'm giving you guys an example of how the offer dashboard is going to work and how we'll pivot to talking about the listing in that. Now, let's talk real quick about the offers on this. And again, this is I do want to be clear, the cash plus right now. And again, this is just a demonstration account and again, probably old data that was in here. And I pulled it up off of an address that we had in there from things in the past. But the cash plus is designed to be at genuine market value. Now it's done through a structure on how we're able to do that. So the cash, which I'll touch into on just a second, the cash offers are cash offers that are going to be purchased, and usually properties that are going to be held on to and then leased back out indefinitely. Right now, the cash offers in general are a little bit more conservative from these larger hedge funds and institutions. The cash plus, like I said, that's going to be a market value cash offer, and then the sell now move later is also determined on the market value. So let's talk real quick briefly about this cash plus, because again, it's one of the pioneering opportunities that you have as an agent to bring somebody a market value cash offer. And what it is and how it works, it's delivered in 3 simple parts. So 1 is going to be that market value cash offer. 2 is there is a holdback, which is a portion of that homeowner's equity that's held back to ensure that when you list and sell that house after the buyer buys it, it's going to resell for that amount or higher. So in the event it was to sell for less than it was purchased for, that amount would be deducted from the holdback and then the balance would be returned. However, if it was to sell for more, not only would they get the holdback returned, they would also get the additional proceeds. So that's why it's a really compelling opportunity, because when you when you can do this other part that I want to share with you, it is a great value proposition. So in the event that the house needs a little bit of TLC, maybe the backyard needs a little bit of maintenance, maybe the house can use some updating and painting, maybe some of the flooring can use some updating. This allows that to be done once the homeowner moves out. Now, those costs do get deducted from the holdback. However, if the house sells for more than it was purchased for after that, again, all of those proceeds go back to them. So for example, if the $10,000 of cleanup goes into the property and the house now sells, in this example, for or in an example for $25,000, $50,000 more, you technically made that homeowner money. So it's a tremendous opportunity, especially for other use case scenarios of homeowners that need to, maybe there's multiple families living in the home. Maybe the house just doesn't show well. Maybe they had a lot of animals, dogs, those types of things, where this is a great use case scenario. But it's also a use case scenario where the house could be in perfect condition, where they just need to do more of that structured, or there's a lot of times people like some of the government, police, I know definitely a lot of government stuff there, where they don't want to put their house on the open market and have people just traipsing through it. This alleviates having to put the house on the open market at all while they're living in it. They cash out now, knowing that a second payday is coming, to where once they move the property, we come in, recondition that property, you list it, resell it, and then once you successfully resell it, they get the difference. So it's a really cool opportunity. The sell now, move later works exactly like I just shared with you guys, other than they can lease the house back on a month-to-month basis up to 1 year. So I usually get some questions at this particular point. I will pause there and see if anybody has any questions or want to know any little nuances of how those cash offer structures work.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So based on whatever the market value is, the numbers for the cash offers are automatically calculated? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Not all of them, though. So these are algorithms that the buyers control inside of this, right? So like, for example, a lot of the cash offers right now, depending on the market, they're a little bit more conservative. But the cash plus, because I'm going to hold on to a portion of that homeowner's equity, we can make a genuine market value offer because of that security instrument. So let me give you a little bit more of a scenario, and we'll just use this one here as a 350. Let's say that the market value of this house was $350,000. And we're going to hold on to 10% of that homeowner's equity to ensure that when you list, when Geraldine lists and resells that property, you're going to sell it for that amount or higher. Now, that would obviously be $35,000 of security that you're hanging on to. So let's run through that scenario. In the event that you sold it for $335,000, that, let's say it was on the market for 60 days, we've had 15 showings and finally get an offer at $335,000 at that particular point. We worked it to get it to 350 in that, but this is the best offer, right? So we would move forward in that $35,000 that we're holding on to, that $15,000 shortfall would be deducted from that holdback, really ultimately risk assessment account. And then the homeowner would get the difference. Okay. Now let's play it where it's the medium. If the house was purchased for 350, you sell it for 350, we were holding on to that 35 grand, they would get all the 35 grand back. But this is where, again, let's say it's a property that we did go in, we painted it and maybe fix up the flooring, and now it sells for 375. Same exact scenario, 350. I'm holding on to 10% with 35 grand. And now it sells for 375. Well, first of all, that $10,000 of cleanup is going to get deducted from that 35, leaving a balance of $25,000. But this additional $25,000 that you made that homeowner, they get that plus the other 25,000. So they would get 50 grand back in that, right? So that's where that's the compelling value, right? In this for the homeowners is, hey, let's improve this property. So we minimize the days on the market, therefore lowering the risk. And then ultimately, let's elevate the value. Everybody that's on this knows that the longer houses sit on the market, the more buyers are going to try to negotiate in a market like we're in right now, and less likely the homeowner is to get the actual price that they listed at. So that's where this really, again, if we can, win it in a beauty contest and be priced correctly, houses like that are usually still selling really quick. Liliana says, do closing costs deducted from the 350. So yes, so there is let's actually open that piece up real quick and we look at some of this. I apologize. This is an older one. So I'll just tell you what they are real quick. And Noah, are you on now?
Hey, Elliot. Yeah, I am.
Okay, cool. So I know, and I just wanted to make sure you're on this too, because you'll be able to answer some of these questions here in just a minute as well. So let's go over the cost real quick on that, Liliana. What we are able to do is there is a 7% resale fee. That resale fee is how we pay you the commission, where you're paid 1% of that commission up front. And let's say that the commission is always 5.5 to a 6%. And in the event that, let's go through a 5.5 where you're paid 1% up front, and then leaving a balance of 4.5% that gets paid to you when you successfully resell the property. Well, the rest of that is going towards the closing costs to the buyer when they resell the property. So yes, the buyer does deduct a portion of those proceeds in anticipation for reselling the property. Okay, Phil says, what would be a great benefit to us concerning our SEO is if we would be allowing to blog from our site. Can you make a blog tab where we can just go all out blogging on there? So yeah, I'm going to say, I believe that's I'm going to actually turn that back over to your development team, Phil, on that, because you guys are mainly choosing to go the widget route and, all of that. So let's go over that real quick. So this is an example of a site that you guys have that's custom built to where the widget got planted, right? Where you can have the video explainers of the different cash offers to draw people in. Now, if you guys have the blogging capability on that through your team with Eddie there, which I believe, Brianna, can you answer that? Do you know if you guys have blogging capability? I don't know if she's on here or not. Brianna, are you there by chance? Okay.
I can answer that. I just had a meeting with Eddie. Right now, we're only set up we're not set up for MSN blogging or anything else right now. That's something that we would have to talk to Mike and Jessica about.
Okay. So then So yeah, we don't have, and for the record, I don't have blog capability on the Zoodealio landing page either. You're absolutely right with an SEO piece as far as that goes. And Noah, I don't know if you care to add on that, but yeah, my advice in this circumstance would actually be, being that you guys are creating really the funnel of the menu of services, it would be better for Jessica and Mike to take that on, because then you're keeping it all together within your site. You're not having to segment out the pieces of that. And so as an FYI, that does bring me to my next point. This does integrate with the CRM and all of that. So the last thing I want to share before I jump off and hand it over to Noah, who's going to be here to answer any other questions you guys have. When you generate the lead on all of this, how do we do that, right? This is one of the things that we recently have built that will run on your behalf. And Eddie is going to have this live. So should you choose into Zoodealio, you're able to upload your database, press go with these email campaigns, and ultimately start capturing behavior. Now, I want to talk about two things on that real quick. First thing is the data around this. So we actually tested this because this is due to a feature that we'll be rolling out too long, but this was tested on home sellers of 20,000 people, and it had an open rate of 25% and a click rate inside of that of 20%. So that means that 25% of the people open it, then 20% of those people took an action in that. That's actually remarkably good numbers in the world of email marketing. So let's run through that in a use case scenario, just so you guys can see what an opportunity that is. If you had 1,000 people that you drip that on, you would have 250 people that would have opened it. Then you had 50 people that took an action. And that's where again, you have access to like these workflows inside of Zoodealio, where you want to now be able to create conversations, right? And a lot of times these are where we take cold calling and we turn it into warm calling, and you're doing it through proper marketing, and where I can have conversations where I'm saying, hey, Noah, thanks so much for checking out my Cash Plus home selling program the other day. I saw that you were checking it out, and I was curious, is that something that you were just checking out, or are you and the family actually thinking about getting a cash offer this year? Right. So just very subtle conversations through your CRM. Even though they didn't register for the lead, you're capturing that they're taking an action on that. And now I'm taking the conversation to them. So that's why a lot of times we give you the strategies of where you want to wait 2 or 3 days. It's not necessarily they just registered for a lead and you have 5 minutes to call them, or that your ratio of converting starts delineating down. But the part I love on this, guys, is if you take these types of strategies and you put them in place, this is how you're going to build that massive pipeline. This is how you're going to win over FSBOs, by giving them exclusive cash offers where that they can't get for anybody else, even though they've been trying to sell their house for 4 weeks, 6 weeks themselves. You bring them a cash offer, maybe that doesn't work, but now you can articulate your marketing strategy of how you're going to get them the price that they want, right? This is how you're going to convert those expireds. This is how you're going to give your divorce lead source an instant solution so that they can get things done faster. Right? There's so many solutions that you have that you're putting this at the center of your value proposition and lead generation, so that ultimately you're having inspiring conversations with your clients and generating new opportunities yourself.
Hey, Elliot, can I ask you a quick question?
Absolutely. And yep, go right ahead. And Noah, I'm sure you'll be able to answer this too. So go ahead and ask Phil. But like I said before, I got to jump here in just a second.
Okay.
Noah's fully, yep.
It's just on the, how you say buy now, sell later. This is a question that I've been asked by some of my clients. What is the rent that they would be paying on that after they do, if they should do the buy now and rent later?
Love it. All right, Noah. Yeah, Noah will 100% be able to answer that for you. So yeah, Noah, I'm going to hand you over the controls and let you drive, and I will jump on that. But like I said, yeah. So everybody, just so you know, Noah he's literally my right-hand guy, knows everything inside and out, and he'll take good care of you the rest of the way.
Yeah, thanks, Elliot. So yeah, great question with the sell now move later rent. One important thing I want to note with that before we go into, kind of how that might be calculated, is when you receive that offer from our offers department, whichever partner it might be from, you'll know ahead of time exactly what the rent would be that they're paying, right? So as soon as you have that offer, that number is a part of the offer. They'll know exactly what that is before they even decide to move forward. Now, how that number is calculated, it's hard for me to give an exact answer because it's not decided by us. But what we normally see is it's market rate rent with a premium on it. And what it normally looks to be is kind of whatever the investor's cost of capital is, kind of around that range. So it's hard for us to know exactly what it's going to be before we get the offer. But as soon as we have the offer, we'll know exactly what that number is, and it's provided to you and your client.
Thanks.
Yep, no problem. All right, any other questions for me, guys? Who are the lenders? Okay, interesting question. So Zoodealio doesn't necessarily work with lenders to fulfill our offers. We work with buying partners. So the various sources throughout the country, the cash investors that are fueling the Zoodealio platform are private capital firms, hedge funds, REITs, things of those works. So mainly large capital institutions that are looking to make some sort of investment or profit out of real estate are kind of the main sources of those. Our requirements to basically partner in a market is $10 million of liquid capital. So they are mostly institutional buyers, not really any, mom and pop investors, if you will, through the platform.
So I have a question. If you have a client that's interested in one of your cash offers, do we just hand them to you and you explain the cash offer to them, or how does that work?
Yeah, that can definitely be done. So going through what that process would look like. So as soon as you get the offers back from us, you present them to the client. The platform has some ways for them to dive into the offer, watch some videos, see a breakdown. We also do training that you can join in on throughout the month and throughout the weeks, documentation, et cetera, for you to kind of get up to speed on the offers as fast as possible. But if your client has questions that you don't feel comfortable answering just yet, there's a couple ways we can handle that. Number one is whenever you get an offer, a representative from our team will reach out to you. So you'll have a contact number and you can set meetings with them to discuss the offer. This can also be done prior to bringing that offer to the client. So you can get all geared up, know all the ins and outs of the situation, and go explain that to them when you're comfortable. Or in the situation you mentioned, that is also something that can be done. You reach out to that offers representative and basically say, hey, could you jump on a call with myself and the client and kind of cover this offer with them? That's something that can be set up as well. So it's kind of up to how you want to do it. We provide resources for you to do it either way.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so Tony asked, once you have the program, you send the lead and I talk to them. So not necessarily, we do not provide leads to you guys. We're just providing the platform itself. So you have that submission process, that dashboard will fuel the offers. We provide marketing material, training content, a ton of stuff for you guys to go out there and push leads and generate business. But we are just the platform and the service side behind it. We do not distribute any leads or offer any sort of ad spend or anything of that sort. So it's really more so you guys sending leads through your platform and we're returning offers to help you, one, convert those clients and two, get those clients in because now you have a new value proposition to push into your marketplace. And as Elliot really showed kind of briefly, we have things, like he showed, email campaigns, we have social media content, scripts, a ton of strategies for you guys to go out there and push to pull new people into your platform using the new value propositions that you have through the Zoodealio platform. This is something we also cover. We have training and coaching calls throughout the week that you guys can join in on that cover some of these strategies, how you can go out there and push and promote a new business using the cash offer hook, how you can also convert those leads at a stronger rate and all of that good stuff. We cover that in our trainings, coachings, our tutorial libraries, etc. So we do our best to gear you guys up to push that, but we do not distribute leads of any sort as of right now. So is this month to month, or do I have to? Okay, great question. So Tony asked, is it month to month, or is it kind of blocked for a specific time? So that is actually something that you want to talk with, your representative, or however that's handled with R1. They're kind of the ones handling that aspect of things. From a Zoodealio standpoint, we're here to help you get any questions about technology, about the offers, how to get started, but not so much about billing or account setup. That's going to be handled on the R1 side of things. That is something I'd have to check on. I'm not actually sure. So let me find out about that for you. I'm actually not 100% sure how the setup works for you guys when it comes to this. Elliot kind of pulled me in last minute because he had to go to another meeting to help answer questions. So I'd have to check in on that and get back to you. Unfortunately, at this time, I don't have a direct kind of way to push you on that. I'm not sure if they're
interested in signing up with Zoodealio through R1. I'm going to share my screen really quick so I can show you all where to go. Let's see, share. You can go to your R1 resources. If you scroll down here to, to R1 IDX agent websites, you can purchase the website here, and then you would click the Zoodealio add-on right here for the $50 a month. You would enter all of your information, and then you can purchase that there.
Perfect, thank you. So yeah, that's how you guys can get started with Zoodealio through R1, is find those simple steps, and then your account creation and all that setup will be handled for you. And you guys can come to us with any questions about how to use the platform, about the offers, etc. All right, any other questions for me, guys? So Zoodealio is not a brokerage, so your commission will still be paid through your brokerage. So everything's going to be normal there when it comes to commission and how you're paid. That's all going to be done through your brokerage. Great question. All right, anything else for me, guys?
Thanks, Noah.
Yeah, of course, anytime. And again, if you guys have any questions, once you have your account set up, you guys can reach out to us at any time with any questions, like I said, about the offers, about the platform. Make sure to join in on the trainings once you guys are involved, and get yourself up and running as fast as possible.
Thank you.
All right, everyone have a wonderful rest of the week and weekend.